In the previous video, we learned how to navigate around objects inside of Maya's viewport. In this video, we're going to learn how to select objects and move them around the viewport as well. So, when you first open Maya, your selection tool is usually turned on by default. If I just click an object, you'll see that I can select it. The icon for turning on the selection tool is along the left side of our screen, at the very top of this section called the toolbar. It's a giant arrow, and if we click that, we've activated our selection tool. Another way to activate the selection tool is with the Q shortcut key. If I move down a few icons, we'll find our Move tool. It's the fourth one down. I can click it to turn on Move, or I can hit the W key to activate the Move tool. Once I've activated the Move tool, you'll see that I get a manipulator in the center of my object. This manipulator allows me to move my object around the scene. The individual arrows allow us to move it in a single axis at a time, or these little boxes allow us to move it in a single plane at a time. We'll talk a little bit more about these axes later. The icon directly below the Move tool is the Rotate tool. The shortcut key for that is E. Once I've activated the Rotate tool, you'll see I get a manipulator in the center of my object again. This time it looks like a sphere. I can change the size of these manipulators using the plus and minus key. Plus makes it bigger, minus makes it smaller. If I click in the middle of this manipulator, I can rotate my object in all axes at once. Or if I click on one axis at a time, I can just rotate it in that single axis. To undo a move or most other actions inside of Maya, I can use the same shortcut key that is pretty common across many other softwares. Control Z will undo the move and get my object back where we started. Directly below my Rotate tool is my Scale tool. Scale gives me yet again another manipulator. If I click in the middle, I can scale my object up and down uniformly, or I can select an individual axis and scale it up and down in that axis. The shortcut key for scale is R. You'll notice that all of these selection tools and manipulation tools are all right beside each other on the keyboard. Q is select, W is move, E is rotate, R is scale. Because you're new to Maya, it'll be tempting to rely on these icons, but I would encourage you to memorize the shortcut keys so you'll be able to switch in and out of different manipulation tools more quickly. There's another option we can use to select objects within our Maya scene. All the way at the bottom of our toolbar, we'll see a button for turning on the outliner. The outliner is a list of all of the objects within our Maya scene. You'll currently see that our P-Sphere 1, that's for Polygon Sphere 1, is highlighted blue. I can select objects in the scene simply by clicking them. You'll see now I currently have our perspective camera selected. If I want to select the sphere again, I just have to click it. We can also select multiple items within Maya's user interface. If I create a couple more spheres and move them around, you'll see that I can drag select to select all of the items at once, or I can drag select a region to select specific objects. But sometimes I need to select objects that are not right beside each other. So for example, if I need to select P-Sphere 2 and P-Sphere 3 at the same time, I can hold down my Shift key inside of Maya to toggle additional selections. If I accidentally select something I didn't mean to, I can still hold down my Shift key and click it again to deselect it. Inside of the outliner, the Shift key does something slightly different. If I click P-Sphere 1 and I hold down Shift and select P-Sphere 3, you'll see it selects the entire row. If I need to select individual items inside of the outliner, I can hold Control to select or deselect.